Welcome to our Paak Sau series, part 2. You have seen part 1, which covered the Paak Sau in its most fundamental forms, the exercise as well as the concept and some of the drills and applications. So now we're going to go deeper into it, give you a little bit more perspective as well as a quick review. So I'd like to go ahead and introduce my assistants. Okay, Tay Hayden and David Triplett. So the two gentlemen is gonna kind of show you the most basic way of how Paak Sau normally is began. Most of the different families, they always introduce Paak Sau at the beginning. So the reason why I will explain towards the end of this exercise. Okay, well. So David's gonna, they both open up. Okay. Now, to begin the exercise, the first layer in a basic review is just that we introduce the tools. In this case, one person is using the fist, the middle punch, vertical punch, and the second person, the tool he's using obviously is his palm. Okay? So as one person punch, one person paak, which is to smack or to hit, go ahead. Okay, good. Now, when we mention the tools, if we don't mention the detail, eventually you might have some people might be parking way too far away, close to his end of his fist, or smacking maybe too close where he's leaning. So make sure we understand the proper tool. You want to maintain the center, okay, the facing, but the hand is most important. One more punch. The key tools to use is the Paak Sau has to be the palm base. Okay, if you pay attention, a lot of people actually sometimes end up using the fingers. Okay, so this is a simple instruction on the proper tool. The technique, of course, is Paak Sau versus the punch. Now, with understanding of tools and techniques, the mechanics, make sure both sides don't overextend. The elbow is never fully extended. And by understanding the proper mechanics of using the palm, he is applying the concept of occupying the center line. Because one object can only occupy a given space. You cannot have two occupy the same space. So if Tay occupy his center, that punch, which is David's punch, is going to go off to center. So the key concept for him is to occupy his center line. So rather than thinking about blocking a punch or smacking the punch, he should be thinking about occupying his center line. This is kind of like a first key concept of Wen Chen, which is center line, and occupy space. So now we understand the proper tools and techniques, the right mechanics, and then now he focused on the concept of occupying his center line. So go ahead. Now, as one punches, make sure the punching hand sets the pace. He can go fast or he can go slow. If he stops, the other person stops. So now what kind of skill are we developing? A skill to be able to occupy your center, occupy your space. 2 is a sensitivity skill. You move, I move, you move first, I hit you first. This is all based on sensitivities as well as understanding position and timing. So this will be covered later on. So this is kind of like basically a quick review of what we've done in part 1. Part 2, now once we understand the basic mechanics, both partner has a sense of skill behind them, then we start practicing what we call 2 hands work as one, which is Paak Sau. Go ahead, punch. Right, then you can mix it up between Paak Sau and Paak Sau. Okay, so this is training methodology. Okay, so next we're going to cover going into a little more of what we call Paak Sau applications. With the drills and exercise, you kind of start having a certain skill. But again, this is just drill and exercise. Okay, so now we're going to throw in an important part for applications. Okay, so why does most Wing Chun family always teach Paak Sau at the beginning? Now, this is true in most of the grandmasters that I train with. Okay, well, the concept of Paak Sau, one of the key is it contains the Meng Sau concept. Meng Sau in Chinese, it means asking him. So normally, we humans use the hand. This is, if you talk about fighting, this is a very important weapon we use, and also expensive weapons. So if you're going to use your hands, if you throw me a punch, I can just use my forearm. Why do I need to use my hand? So if I use my hand, it's more something I want to get more out of it. So in this case, Meng Sau means asking hand. So normally, somebody coming into your face, you put up a hand anyway. Okay, so if you understand what's coming into your gates, your space, normally you put up a hand to kind of find out what's out there. Or you go to his bridge. So there are ways to engage your opponents. Okay, in a close quarter fight, okay, as well as a little bit further out, one of the ways we call bridging concept. You must establish the sense of touch. In this case, could be arm versus arm. He throw me a punch again. Okay, could be arm versus arm, or in this case, will be my hand. So if you use your hands, now not only I can deflect the attack, but I kind of find out where his structure is and I feel his energy because I'm using a high priority tools and weapons. So Paak Sau, number one, contain the concept of Meng Sau. Allow you to feel what's out there and find out what's going on. That's why we call Meng Sau concept. Okay, so with knowing that, something could happen, my hands could be here. If something happened, hey, calm down. This already is a Meng Sau concept. But if you know where your hand goes, which is cover your gates, by the time he comes in, where my hand's up, the Paak Sau is right there. So Paak Sau is Meng Sau concept. Okay, so going back to the bridging. How do we connect to opponents? Rather than thinking 1,000 ways he can attack me, I have to learn 1,000 moves. So we look at the way we can engage your opponents. Normally, for Paak Sau, again, this is a basic technique to teach at beginner level. The reason is because Paak allow you to engage your opponents in a very simple way. First way, boom, outside. If my hands are here and he comes towards me, towards the center, my hand's outside, I'm not going to do something inside. My hand's outside. So right away, this is what we call outside Paak. So this is natural. So I can kind of use this to set him up. Paak from the outside. Or, maybe I turn my face sideways a little bit. Okay? It's still outside. Okay? Or even if he comes straight with this same hand, this is still outside. Okay, go ahead. All right? This is still outside. I cover my inner gate and then go to his center line. So this is Paak Sau engagement from the outside. Maybe you punch with the other hand, this is Paak Sau from the inside because I'm engaging to his inside. Now there are some families, they always dangerous. Well, everything is dangerous in a fight. So if you don't know when to do it, what position, timings of, structure is weak, everything is dangerous. So Paak Sau, you can both out or in based on your opponent's position and yours. So if you were going to use the Paak Sau inside, you have to understand the position you're supposed to take. For example, if he punched me again with the same hand, this is dangerous because I'm in his line of attack. He can knock me out right there. Of course, that's dangerous. So then why would I want to do that? Well, because I don't have the right position. So if you do Paak Sau on the inside, the position should be, we form a triangular position. This, I can hit him, he's in my gate. What happened to that hand? He really can't hit me unless he have to shift and turn that foot, and then by the time, I hit him 3 times already. So again, Paak Sau from inside, you need to have that skill as well as Paak Sau from the outside. The last one, Paak Sau, like, hey, come down, suddenly he punch. My energy is going directly towards center. I'm jamming him. So you have Paak Sau coming from out to in, or sometimes this direction might be looking at as a way to express it as in to out. But either way, I'm going to enter from outside his hand or inside of his hand. Okay? So this makes all the engagement quite simple. If I'm standing here and obviously if he punched me, it's kind of awkward for me to, turn and then pop. It's too late. So you have to kind of look at your position. I have to step out, then I have to engage him from the inside. Okay, but if my hands are already out here and he's suddenly take a punch, then obviously my Paak Sau, it has to come from the inside. And then sometime you see something coming, I occupy that space, that center line, guess what? My Paak Sau just jammed him. And at the end, I kind of feel where he's at this moment. Right? And at this moment, his center line's off, he's overextended. So this allowed me to apply the Meng concept. So we train Paak Sau at the very beginning so we can have this asking hand skill. And then how do we bridge the opponents is one of those approaches. Outside or inside. Okay? Or it could be a jam right there. Okay? So regardless of, one of those positions allow you to kind of simplify the battlefield rather than thinking, wow, you know what? He could attack me 50 ways, so I got to learn 50 techniques. Okay? So obviously, you can set people up now. If I put my hands in the middle, most likely I'm going to allow him to punch me inside, to set me up the inside Paak Sau. So allow me to do this. If my hands are out, that means obviously I will be coming from the outside. So again, this is a bridging concept using the Paak Sau. Okay, now I just want to kind of show you more variation of Paak Sau application. In a fight, you can never fix any patterns because it becomes movie. It's entertainment. In a real situation, everything is flowing and changing. So that means that position is going to change, timing is going to be changing. So there are no fixed patterns, no fixed positions. So that's why you have to practice in such a way where it prepares you for all the scenarios. So sometimes your Paak Sau, what you learn in the student-tail form, it covers the inner gate as close as to the shoulder sometimes, or sometimes the Paak Sau goes forward to jam your opponents. So you gotta kind of see the different scenarios. So again, Paak is smack using the hands to redirect. Okay? We don't really have in the art of efficiency, for the efficiency's sake, we don't want to crash with force. So therefore, we don't just kind of block. So we want to parry. So Paak Sau fits the categories of parry and redirect. Okay, so for example, in this case, if I punch him, slow down, he put up a defense. I'm stuck. So I don't want to leave the stick and expose my center line by running because then he hit me. So if something is there, then I'll just take it away by Paak. So this is one quick application of Paak Sau. Now, of course, if you look at his quick reaction, he also has a Paak. So now he's just parrying my hand. So there's this inner gate and outer gate type of Paak Sau right there. Okay? So Now in this case, you notice that he does a lap down. So what happened? My Paak Sau come all the way to my shoulder, because this is the only way I can apply Paak Sau. And actually, I'm in a bad position. If I don't do anything, I can't really attack him. And this hand is already in control. So the only way is inside Paak. But once I gain my gate back, guess what? His center line is open. Boom. Then you can apply Paak Sau. So again, those is just more variation of Paak Sau use. So train hard with the right tools, getting the right mechanics, and then understanding the main theory: occupy center, occupy your gate, asking concept, find out what's out there. Okay? And the reason, the way that we do that is by occupy our center line in our space, and then know how do we connect the bridge, outside Paak, inside Paak, straight energy. So you can kind of look at, really those are the simple options, and that is how you build your Paak Sau up. So until then, hard training, always have a new knowledge, and then put everything together, and then don't forget to have fun. This particular lesson is going to be on advanced Paak Sau. Now, what is considered advanced is concept-based applications. For example, in the previous lesson, we talked about one of the concepts of Paak Sau is Meng Sau. Meng Sau is asking him. So we give you some examples. So how that is one of the key concepts of Paak Sau. Okay. Remember my student and partner Tae-Hin? Now what he just demonstrated is a variation or any type of possibility. Somebody could give you a shove and a push. A Paak Sau allow you to take care of that, but more importantly, from a push to finger or somebody want to come into your space, normal reaction, this is not something sophisticated where you have to be taught. Normal reaction, people will use their hands. So when we use our hands, we communicate, hey, stop, or we put something out there as a way to occupy our space. Okay, so if you look at the first example, okay, once I take care of that push, my hand is back on him from 1 Paak to 2 Paak. Now, once my hand's on him, this is not simply, okay, I'm going to push him, but this allows me to get information. So it's like what we say, asking him. So I'm asking, okay, find out what's going on. So when I put my hand on him, this allows me to feel where his energy is and where his center is. So this is a form of Paak Sau. So sometimes we put our hands on him, but hey buddy, calm down. To us, everything we do is related to our training. When I put my hand on him is to get information or to find out where his center is. So if I just kind of touch him, there's no forward energy, then this is just a touch. So when I have a Paak Sau, I want to get some information, I have to kind of feel where his center is. So sometimes I have to go, because he gave me a limb, then from the limb I can find out where he is and where his center is. But sometimes maybe not the limb, like he points the finger at me, hey buddy, I could obviously find out what he's doing by sticking my hand to his face. He's going to react. So this is a way to clear your space. Just like, hey. Let's say he's angry or something. Hey, calm down. This is not like, okay, I'm ready to fight you. Okay, this is kind of like a neutral or kind of like a poker face. I'm not really putting up a fighting posture, but I'm already there. So hey, calm down. So this is already Wen Chen's Zhong Sau, fighting posture already. So all this allow you is to get information out. So this is form of what we call Meng Sau concept. So obviously, if somebody punches you, the Paak Sau is right there. Okay, it's a form of deflection. So that's why most of the Wing Chun lineage start with the Paak Sau drill, because this is quite natural. So when we defend ourselves, we have to rely on what your body reacts to. And this is, if a mosquito bites me, boom, that's a Paak Sau right there. So that's why first concept of Paak Sau is to ask what is going on. So therefore, we use the hands. So this kind of is a review for what I mentioned in the past. So hopefully you can see why this is a concept, because he could be doing anything to me. Okay? Hey buddy, calm down. So every time I use my hand as a way to smack him, as a way to use my Paak Sau, this is a way for me to gather information. So Meng Sau, it's a concept for Paak Sau, but in application, you have to kind of understand this, because in application, it's not just a simple techniques. Now you got the technique of Paak Sau already, and then you probably understand pretty good mechanics of using the Paak Sau, such as your palm, and you can push forward, you can go to the side, you can come down. Those are different mechanics dealing with the Paak Sau. Now, this is more of a concept. So once you understand the concept, then you're ready for applications. So the next concept after Meng Sau is really what is he doing, right? His intention. Now, how can I tell what his intention is? Obviously, I have to be touching. This is called sense of touch. That's why when Chen is close quarter, and we do a lot of sensitivity drill, from Paak Sau to single hand Chi Sau to Lap Sau to double hand Chi Sau. It's all about body language. So how do I know his intention? Is by feeling what is his energy doing. So the way we're going to break it down, understanding energy, is this is one of the main idioms of Wing Chun, Loi Lao, Hui Song. So Loi Lao in Chinese means when he come, you allow him to come, but stay at a place that you want him to stay at. So this is Loi Lao. So it's more of a defensive concept. If something comes into your space, you guide that punch away from your center and go to a place that you want it to be. Just like if you're my guest, you come to my home, hey, have a seat. I'm not gonna just kind of let you run crazy and go to my living room. Go to my bedroom. So you most likely is gonna go to the living room. So same concept. So, but this also, again, follows the Meng Sau concept, kind of asking what's going on. So if his energy allow me to redirect him, but then again, I want to make sure he goes to a place I want to see him to stay. So this is called Loi Lao. Come, I'm going to make you stay at a certain place. Okay, for example, Loi Lao concept. Hey, buddy. You see, I allow his punch to come, but I redirect it, and then boom, allow him to go to a place where I want to be. It could be sideways, could be down, sideways. So this is a different Loi Lao. So allow him to come, but go to the places I put him there. So this is more of a concept you have to understand. So your defensive Paak Sau. Sometimes, suddenly somebody give me a sucker punch, I have to acknowledge that. But then again, okay, I want to make sure it goes to a place where I want the hands to be. Okay, so this is kind of Loi Lao. Now, Hui Song, if you want to go, you escort, or if you want to go, let him go. So send off if you want to leave. So this is the second part. So this is more of a from defensive to offensive. So we have a Paak Sau in Chinese means to slap. So if he comes, right, this is a slap right there. Okay, so if I smack his hand away and punch him same time, his body is going to react by maybe retreating or even defensive Paak Sau. Okay, so this allows me to send him off. So if he retreats, draw the hand back, then this allows me to send him off. So this is kind of like a defensive, offensive way of looking what is Paak Sau in applications. So, right? Allow him to come, but look where he is. It's right on my center. So this allows me to do a follow-up without risking. Because if he thinks he has a direction to punch me, actually this is really an illusion for him because he's crossing the center. So this is an example of Loi Lao, Paak Sau. Now Hui Song is when he go back, he wanted to escape now, bring his hand back, I'm gonna follow right away. Okay? Or as he come, boom, I jam him. This is also kind of like send him off in that way. So again, from Meng Sau to Loi Lao Hui Song, this is more of a concept-based understanding how we apply the technique of Paak Sau. So what we're going to do is show you a little bit basic drill to give you a little bit more understanding on how you feel that energy. Okay, again, coming back to Loi Lao Hui Song, Loi Lao. Okay, allow him to come, but stay at the place that you want, whichever place you want to put them at. Okay, of course, in this case, we're talking about a technique coming to strike you. Okay, now Hui Song is sent off when they want to leave. Now this also includes your energy going out. So Loi Lao Hui Song, this is one of the key concepts you can see in Paak Sau, you can see it later on in Chi Sau. So we're coming back into a basic drill. Okay, so this is standard Paak Sau to make sure you get hands on center line. Okay, reacting and developing the right mechanics using the palm base, not the fingers. Okay, and then now we're going back to understanding the energy. So if some punches come, don't just slide off. This is Loi Lao, because now he's not coming to my center. I want him to go away from my center, but he's still in my range. So this is example of Loi Lao. Go off to the shoulder line. So the more further out, the more efficient, okay, dealing with the energy. Now, if he did come deeper, okay, if he did come, let's say he really stepped in, okay, the same technique applied, but this is in the gate. Okay, then you don't really strike a separate hit. So you have to have a second hand strike because this is a critical space you have to, if he walks in and hit, boom, you have to kind of hit him at the same time. So you have kind of like a redirect, put him in wherever you want to go, sideways. So, okay, the Loi Lao again, okay? Make him stay where you want him to stay at, okay? Sideways, you look at this direction, I'm sending him and keeping him out, going to the side, okay? But he's still in my range, okay? So allow me to really be safe and hit him with the same hand. Or I could have him go down. Now, if I allow him to come in, that means his body is going to move forward. So again, this is critical in the distance. Okay, so if you look at Loi Lao to the shoulder, okay, from Paak to the shoulder, okay, this is keeping him out. But as soon as you allow him to come in, such as, then you have to replace that center line with a punch. So again, you have to be aware of the distance, okay? Or even if suddenly he cuts you off and your hands this close, well, that's okay, you still have the other hand. Okay, so Paak Sau, Loi Lao, is critical that you have to use the hands to guide or to put your opponent's technique in a place where you can hit them, where they cannot hit you. This is a defensive concept of Paak Sau, okay? Now, Hui Song is like, if you want to lead, send them off. Or you just send them off. Okay, if he suddenly punch, boom, you send him off. Okay, so in this example, the exercise, we're just going to kind of drill that concept, going back to the basics. So again, if he punches, so I can just go it out first. This is all Loi Lao. Now I can mix it up with Loi Lao Hui Song. Right. Loi Lao Hui Song. Right. So this again teach you how you can perfect your hands based on the concept of Loi Lao Hui Song. Okay? But again, put it simply, you have defensive way to use your Paak Sau and offensive way. Okay, let's look at a little bit more example of a defensive Paak Sau. Okay, so when we say defensive Paak Sau, that means you are obviously sometimes could be where you just simply want to redirect, right? Let's say he punches me, and you redirect, double Paak. Okay, now I redirected his attack. I put myself in a superior position. Okay, so this is again, but within the defensive concept, the key is Loi Lao. You don't kind of, if I push him away, but he's out of my range to also counterattack. So Loi Lao again is put yourself in a position where I can hit him, he cannot hit me. So again, this is kind of a good example. I can obviously hit him, but can he hit me at this moment? He cannot, because he has to make a second move. Obviously, he has to step around, but that's the actual move for him. So another way would be where defensive Paak Sau is like, oh, okay, you're dealing with your opponent's attack, right? Maybe, well, he want to hit me, so this is defensive Paak Sau. So obviously, again, okay, you go to an area that you need to protect yourself, but at the same time, okay, you keep his hand out, or again, you're in control of that space. So allow him to come, but not in a position where he can hit you, you can hit him. So if you look at this technique here, he lobs, okay? Now it looks like he can hit me from this hand, but in reality, in the form, since I'll go to the shoulder line, because my hands go to the shoulder, if this hand releases punches, you see actually I occupy the inside line. In theory, that means actually I have a more economy of motion. So again, if you look at shoulder line, okay, if that hand's free, I actually do occupy a better line from inside. So there's a reason why we go to the shoulder. Okay? And then of course, there's a reason we come back to the center too. Okay, so there's a reason we practice center line Paak Sau and shoulder line Paak Sau. Now, you don't see center line Paak Sau in sitting-down form, but it's actually in the wind dummy. So, now for the offensive Paak Sau is where you use Paak Sau. Same time you find out what's going on, you parry and redirect, but you're hitting him same time. So offensive Paak Sau could be again, boom, same time, right? I'm defensive using Paak Sau, but I hit him same time. Where I'm guiding him down because I want him to come in. Or I keep my hands more tighter, okay, without really have to Loi Lao first. So I just pop down right away. Or sometimes, if you see it coming, you can just jam him right away. So this is more of a Hui Song or offensive Paak Sau. So besides offensive, defensive Paak Sau, one of the key applications of Paak Sau is very, very good is what we call anti-grabbing or against Paak Sau. So if somebody grabs you, Paak Sau is right there. Okay, this is very true in Chi Sau. Most of the time when your opponent's getting hit and they start grabbing your hand, so as soon as they grab, right, Paak Sau is right there. As soon as they grab my hand, Paak Sau is right there. So this is a very good way to deal with people try to grab your hands or they try to get a clinch. So this is true if we were doing grappling. Okay? If he's a grappler comes in, he's going to have try to get to me maybe through the hand first. So maybe he try to play with my hands. Right. So again, okay? Okay, so if we are, again, dealing with a grappler, normally they reach out and try to get a bridge. So if we were just doing grappling, this is called a clinch. Okay? But, again, we don't want to tie ourselves down and destroy our center line. So one of the quick ways to deal with this situation is be able to use the Paak Sau to deal with this. So if he comes at me, Paak Sau is right there. Maybe he grabs me again. Okay? Yeah, Paak Sau. So this is just a quick use of okay, you can see, this is a quick way, especially if they're committed. Sometimes they grab you tight. This is actually not a bad thing for me because number one, I feel where his energy is committed and I know where his hand is. Okay, so Paak Sau allowed me to quickly, to not mess with grappling and quickly counter with my just more of a straightforward counter attacks. So far we're talking about Paak Sau as a way to find out what's going on, putting a hand on the opponents. Where he pushes me, hey, buddy, calm down. So as long as I put my hand out there, this is a way for me to gather information. Now from there, once you develop sensitivity drills from all the drills that you learned previously, then we can look at it offensive, defensively. He suddenly threw me a punch. Oh, this is Loi Lao. I either put my hand on the center line or my shoulder line, but I put him in a position where I want to be. Okay, so obviously there is offensive Paak Sau. Okay, so this is offense, defense, and then of course some of the really quick anti-grabbing application is simply using Paak Sau. So again, this is concept-based Paak Sau, meaning that you really have to know what Meng Sau is, Loi Lao Hui Song. So that becomes the overall ideas that guides your technique. Okay, you cannot just throw a number out there, okay, because in a fight, it's chaotic and you're gonna make mistakes. So you need to have a general focus, and your body from training will react to it. But if you only focus on one technique or the second technique or 20 other techniques, technique focus will break down. So you have to have this overall understanding, and this overall understanding is the idea, and the idea is the concept. So far we mentioned how Paak Sau relates to the concept of asking hand, Meng Sau, and relate to the concept of Loi Lao Hui Song, and then how Paak Sau is very effective in defending against somebody trying to put a hand on you or try to grab you, where you can take their bridge away. So one more concept I'm going to mention that this is very important. Again, all this concept is taught in the previous lesson in our Sealing Tao forms. Okay, dealing with the different center line, two-hand work as one, and then the gate theory. So concept is the textbook of Sealing Tao. This is where you learn all the concepts. So this is not something just kind of come out of nowhere. So this next area of Paak Sau is very important because this kind of put everything together. When you're understanding the gate theory is understanding your own space that you need to protect. And then that space is always what's in front of you. Okay? Because a human being will break into center and then right and left, upper, middle, lower. So you have the 6 gates. So the 2 lower gate for the legs and then upper 4 gate for the higher bodies. So this is what you need to concentrate on, because as long as a short guy, tall guy, big guy, long arm, short arm, when they attack you, they have to come through that same space. So we play the same game over and over again and just occupy our gates. So, you know, we don't have to worry about, oh he's the taller guy, oh, he's a shorter guy. Because if he want to hit your head, he has to come through the same space. In this case, is the right upper gate or the left upper gate. So this allows us to make things simple. That's what overall concept is all about. Allowing you to be able to bring hundreds of techniques together in an easy understanding way for applications. So let's look at the gate theory. So that means our Paak Sau should never go outside of our gates. And then you have to understand how you can defend yourself or attack from the different gates. And based on the gates, this will give you understanding of your position in relationship to your opponents. Okay, let's look at the last important concept for Paak Sau, which is the gate theory. Now, the gate in front of you never changes, okay? I mean, my upper right gate is always going to be here, and my left upper gate is always going to be here, and then, you know, I'm already set height. I'm not going to grow anymore. So this is always going to be same for me. So for us, we need to be simply aware of where those spaces are. And then when we apply our technique, we need to have the proper facing. And the proper facing is based on the gate theories. So if I face him in such a way where I cannot use two hands, that tells me I don't have the 6th gate already. For example, if he punches me, this might work for long range, but what happened to my gate? Only my right side is be able to contact him. What happened to my left side? This gate is gone, this gate is gone, this gate, that means I cannot hit him. So it will take time for me to adjust, but by the time I adjust, he can hit me too. Boom. So therefore, you're fighting with one side of your body. So this is the problem with the long distance. You have to be fast, okay? But then again, this is all part of fighting application from long range to mid range. It's just that Wing Chun has focus on efficiency. So when I make a move, I want to look at what is my next move, my third move. So that means if I hit him first time, I want to follow up the second time or even the third time without having to readjust my body. That becomes the theory of economic motion. So if you look at that gate theory, if he comes at me, so how many gate is facing him? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I can choose to hit him with this hand, is there, or I can paak and hit him with this hand, is there, or my legs is right there. So that means I'm in such a way that I can use maximum numbers of limbs and techniques, and I square up to him where he is not squaring up to me. So Paak Sau, once you get this understanding, we prefer to square up to him for efficiency. It's not a fixed style, it's not for the look. But then again, sometimes, if I got, for whatever reason, my structure is broken away from the 6th gate, it doesn't mean the fight's over. I mean, if he comes at me and like this, I can still attack him, but then again, you are outside of that efficiency. So this is part one of the gate theory you need to know, is proper facing, how you face your opponents. So this is proper facing. This is good for me. I am scoring up my 6th gate, facing his 3 gates. Now this is even better, okay? This is even. Okay, so in a fight, you don't normally stay in a square up position for too long. Okay, so that's why if you do stay there, so what is the high ground? It's the center line. So he make a move, okay? Well, I have the high ground, which is center line. But I don't stay there long. If he make a move again, I want to stay here and continue to fight from here. So again, I maintain my consistent 6 gate facing and continue to destroy his 3 gates or 4 gates. So if you look at this scenario, if he grabs me and then he wants to shoot at me, boom, right? He actually are going from a 6 gate to what we call a 2 gate or 4 gate, okay, where I am still upright. So this allows me to quickly still be able to move, or I still have option to strike him. And once he's out of my way, okay, boom, then I can still attack him too. But then again, this is a different topic dealing with anti-grapplings and so forth. Again, this is the gate theory, so we must learn how to face first. Second part is my facing in relationship to him. So then where my Paak Sau or my strike comes in. Okay? I mean, it's very simple. If he put a hand out, same thing, he only have the gates in front of him. So I either enter from the outside higher gate or the middle higher gate, or sometimes I enter from the inside higher gate or inside middle gate. So that's all the position I can throw a technique from. Okay, so example of outside higher gate is boom, Paak Sau right there. Okay, yeah. But again, I have a better facing, so I have a better angle. Now how about outside middle gate? Boom, it's right there. Okay, so again, Paak Sau or upper gate, Paak Sau. Okay, so Inside, you have to be a little bit careful now, okay? In some system or some teacher, they tell you, well, don't even park inside for me punch. They say this is bad because the hand's dangerous. But again, if you understand about your own angles and then you step out to the side and create a better facing, where you have a 6-gate, where they don't have 6-gate, the inside Paak Sau just as good. So you have to kind of make sure you know the angle. So when I do inside Paak Sau, again, I put his attack where I want it to be, and I move over where I have 6-gate on him. Look at his body. He only has 3-gate facing me. So this inside Paak Sau is dangerous for him. Okay? So this is how inside Paak Sau should work. Now if I stay square up to him, boom like this, now this is a little bit more dangerous because if I want to hit him, he'll still hit me. But then again, as I mentioned, you do have the inside line. But of course it's better you move over. So if I do the upper gate, Paak Sau, boom, this is Paak Sau right here. Okay, or the same thing is, okay. Okay, now even my hand is crossed my own hand. Okay, but remember I have the inside line. If he does something with the other hand, I'm still there. So again, once I have a better facing, then I look at either I'm on the outside or I'm on the inside. So that is basically how you should be trained for your actual applications. So if you have the asking hand, so that means your hand kind of like, hey, come. You know, as soon as you put your hands on your opponents, it's a way for you to get information on him. Or you put your hand out there as a way to find out what's happening. This is all Meng Sau. Okay, and then of course offensive, defensive Paak Sau. And then now how you put all that together into the gate theories. Okay? So without the gate theory, it's just a technique. I could be using Paak Sau like this Paak Sau, or he throw me a 1-2 and like this Paak Sau. But again, some other system might have the Paak Sau too. They don't call it Paak Sau. But again, it takes away the efficiency as soon as we destroy our gate theory. So the last part of the concept fighting for Paak Sau, you maintain your consistency. And this is not a style, it's not a look. It is for functional purpose for maximum efficiency. Again, when I can maintain my human structures, that give me the most options. So again, this is what we mean by gate theory Paak Sau. Okay, 6-gate versus 3-gate, outside gate, inside gate. Okay, so now, if you have the Paak Sau technique and you work where your mechanics is good and your hand sensitive and you drill it many times, it has its attribute, timing, distance, then the concept, what we mentioned from Meng Sau to Loi Lao Hui Song to the gate theory is kind of like the last pieces. So in this lessons, we call this concept Paak Sau is one of the more of advanced thinking of Wing Chun, because Wing Chun is concept-based system. Okay, we are on the subject of Paak Sau, and I mentioned before, in Singing Tao, the Paak Sau you learn is kind of like more of a defensive Paak Sau, go out to the shoulder, because it gives you coverage for the whole space in front of you, cover both gates when you go across your body, and then allow you to quickly come back to the center and occupy the center. Then, if you practice the dummy, actually the first Paak Sau you learn is actually go straight forward. We call center line Paak Sau. So then you know where all those techniques come from, okay? Now, before I go into some basic explanation of Paak Sau on the dummy, I just want to say that historically, the dummy was developed as very much a main training apparatus of Wing Chun. So imagine if you go to a gym and then you gotta do like 1,000 push-ups before you can touch the bench. You know, they don't do that. So actually, there's a misconception where only advanced people are allowed to practice the dummy or to train the dummy. This is not true. Okay, based on my research, the dummy actually, you can practice right at the beginning, is meant to be taught and trained simultaneously with ceiling toe, thumb Q, BUG, and so forth and so forth. Okay? As a matter of fact, on the subject of learning the dummy, this is also true with the weapons. In the old days, you learn the weapon right at the beginning. Today, you learn kind of like the dummy, the weapons last. But picture yourself 500 years ago. If you learn all the empty hand and then years later learn the weapons, you'd be lucky if you stay alive. Because if you fight hand in hand, in the old days, first thing you gotta learn is weapons. So even weapons, you can learn right at the beginning. So certain Paak Sau we mentioned, okay, you can practice on the dummy when you don't have a life partner. That is why this is so good. Now some of the concepts we're talking about, like Loi Lao. For example, if you do, now with the dummy, sometimes this becomes the outside hand, sometimes this could be the inside hand, based on what are you training, okay? So the Loi Lao concept, pop, and then move forward, pop and move forward, pop and move forward, okay? So, so pop, move. So from here, pop, move. So this allows you to kind of develop the Loi Lao concept. Or sometimes it's going all the way. Pop, move down, pop, move down, pop, move down. So this is a way it's kind of for you to reinforce the Loi Lao concept. Now in application, what I just done from in to out or from out to in is like this. So if he throw me a punch, Loi Lao, okay? Now normally he won't stay here, so he's gonna draw the hand back, and then if he draw his hand back, I'm gonna move along, that's Huisong. So you basically have this motion. Sometimes it's here, and then redirect. So this motion here, going back and forth, is the stick that you learn, the sensitivity that you learn. Without a partner, okay, again, boom, down to here again, okay? Or wrist to elbow, or elbow to wrist. So this is why sometimes we go. So this is kind of Loi Lao concept. This is something you can do, okay? Another thing you can do is developing your tools. Okay? Earlier we talked about offensive Paak Sau. Now you can smack him hard, but there's more effective way is actually to hit him simultaneously twice. Then I'm going to hit him actually with my bone, which is the palm base. So if he punch me, smack and punch or palm strike, doesn't matter what, but this become more of just a redirect. But I want to hit him twice, okay? So now in that case, what's the difference in feeling?
Other one was like more like a shock, sir.
Right, because I'm actually chopping him with my bone right here. So if I do it slow, it's actually the bone and then the bone. So this is the Paak Da, that's why I mean it's hitting him twice. Now if I just use my palm, it's more of a redirect. So again, you can strengthen those areas of your body. Chop, redirect, chop, redirect, chop, redirect. Remember the Chinese word Paak means smack. Doesn't mean that you gotta smack with the palm or the bone, okay? It's just a smack. So then this areas allow you to use it with the palm base or with the big bone of your palm, okay? So that is the other way to practice. So now, you can also use this in understanding the four gates, okay? The way, if I square up to him, punch come, this would be, I would be on his outside, punching his upper gate or middle gate, okay? So this would be the same thing as this right here, punching upper gate or middle gate. Okay, so again, allow you to just quickly develop coordination and get your hands build up with the proper attributes. So again, you can practice from, or you can look at your as a defensive Paak Sau, right? Then Paak in the middle, or you can Paak sideways too. Just go to the shoulder. Then strike, shoulder, strike, shoulder, strike, shoulder, strike. So if he locks my hand, this is shoulder. Now I'm gonna counter, I have to come back to the shoulder, come back to the center. So there's a lot of use on the dummy for this. So don't limit yourself with just say Situm Tao is only for beginners and dummies for advanced. So as soon as you learn a technique with good mechanics and then understand the concept, then this becomes a very good apparatus for you to continue your skill even when you don't have a life partners. Welcome to Wing Chun Museum's Wing Chun University. Again, in our long distance learning program, we're going to try to give you the best of what we have. We've done research around the world and not limited to just one family, but many family and many lineage. And then what we come up with, the conclusion, what ties every family together is what we call concepts. So in this particular lessons I just gave, focus on the concept that is behind the Paak Sau. Now later on you will learn concept behind not just Paak Sau, Lap Sau, Chi Sau, okay? And when it comes to applications, it is all about concepts. You know, so bridging is a concept. Chi Sau is a concept. So again, for beginner, this is more of advanced thinking. At the beginner stage, what you normally identify is techniques. So we call it Paak Sau techniques, and then Lap Sau techniques, Chi Sau techniques, and Situm Tao is a first form to teach you a lot of techniques. But as you get to this stage, I'm just using Paak Sau to really teach you what is concept thinking. That is what allows you to truly understand the deeper aspect of Wing Chun. It's not really, I cover so many lessons in Paak Sau. It's actually just simply using Paak Sau to teach you what is concept versus technique. So if you're learning fighting based on techniques, you can identify with styles. So that's why I say style is illusion, because Wing Chun is not a style. Well, Wing Chun is based on concept, a focus, and idea in the midst of chaotic fighting that ties everything together. So therefore, it gives you a simple way to operate under stress. Without concept, fighting is very complicated, okay? And with concepts, it could be simple, direct, and efficient. So hopefully you enjoy these lessons and many more to come. Alright guys, what we're going to do is Paak Sau, right? A little bit general background information, okay? Almost every family that I've been to runs a Wing Chun. Right? I started at Wing Chun in Hong Kong from my seafood. Then I started in Hong Kong to all the different lineage in the human system as well as outside the human system. Guess what? They have something in common where I would say 80% of the time they always start with Paak Sau. Right, so you kind of wonder why is that? So, normally, if you think about it, most of martial art techniques, they show you a lot of drills, offense and defense. And so Paak Sau is actually, in Chinese, the definition is Paak means slap or clap. But in this case, for fighting is slap. You don't clap your hand, fight, slap. Okay? Or a harder slap is what? Smacking something. Right? That's the literal translation of pop. When you pop something, that means smash something or you slap something. Right? The reason why most of the family that practice Paak Sau is because the use of the hands is very important skill. Right? The way that you should understand Paak Sau is through a progression of understanding. That everyone knows the definition of slap to smack. Okay? So the technique is called a Paak. So the tool, which means which part of your body you use, obviously is the hand. Which part of the hand is the palm or the palm heel? There's a bone right under the pinky. So either the base or the heel is the bony part of the palm. Right? You don't use the center. A lot of people they do palm strikes straight like that. It's not correct. Because as a matter of fact, there's a lot of sensitive points there, pressure points. And you definitely don't use your fingers. And so you're using the palm base for contact, either the bone right there or the base. Right? So that is the tools. The technique is Paak. We're using those two areas to smack them. Right? Now, in our system, we teach you a lot of understanding behind what we do. For example, we call 4 defensive concepts, right? One is covering. You know, there's certain time you might need to cover it, and maybe somebody throwing a kick and you're punching at the same time. Or you're on the ground, and, you know, in a bad situation. Sometimes you need to cover yourself. This is natural instinct. Cover means that your hands come back to a vital area that you got to protect. So you take the shot to your hands. So it's not like, oh, you're in trouble, even professional doesn't. This is just one separate concept. Then the next concept is blocking. When something comes, you put something in front of it and block it. So normally that entails you, like the Great Wall of China, you block the nomadic people who call it barbarians in the north. In this case, you know, the Mongolians. Well, I didn't do too good of a job. Because the Mongols' armies are very mobile. So you put something fixed out there, you just go around it. Second, you build something, someone can always tear it down. So, you know, you put a nice block out there, well, this time you go against my hand, but maybe next time I hit you with a baseball bat, you still put that arm out there. Right? You might still prolong people from hitting your head, but you know, you don't have an arm next time. So there is something better than a block. So from covering to blocking, it is kind of like you go from totally defensive, passive to a little bit more active. But because it doesn't matter how you cover, the cover itself does not give you offensive moves. You know, I seen a videotape, somebody showed that, you know, this is a rhino technique. Okay? So they cover themselves like this and then charge in. You say, oh, that's how, you know, safe we do that. Right? So from covering to blocking, the next one is more proactive, it's called parry. Now you start entering the nature of Paak Sau. When we do Paak, using the hands smack, it's because I don't want you to hit me, so I smack the incoming techniques, or we call energy, away from us. In this case, away from my body, away from my center. Right? So by smacking it away, there's two ways we do that. One is parry, that means redirect. You let the energy come, but you redirect to somewhere else. So that entails I can deal with something hard, but not go hard against hard. In this case, like a baseball bat. If some bat come out, I would pocket and then parry it somewhere else. That's different from boom, throwing your block. Does that make sense? The last is intercept. Yeah, when I put a hand out there, I might stop it before you come out. Or you miss it coming out, I smack your hand to jam. Now you're very proactive. So this is a 4 defensive concept. Paak Sau is the later two. You either use Paak Sau for parry, redirect, or to intercept. Right? I'll give you an example. So, Bruce Lee versus Queen of Future Park. Right? So, is this good for me? Fighting is possible. Right. See, right now, he probably just extend and he can jab it like a peg. So I don't want to stay at this range. Okay, if I keep moving out, I still can't hit him, but I increase the chance of having him hit me. Okay, so that means, for me, I'm gonna, if he give me trouble, hey, calm down, I want to what? Jam him. So I might not, want to even give him an idea that I'm fighting him. But just that alone, putting my hand, that's already tried to jam him. That's how he uses it. Now, of course, if he is aggressive, then I have to react to it. So putting a hand out there is kind of a universal language before you begin the hand gestures. So that's all I would say. My hands up. So hey, come down. Oh, really hot. So this is the nature of what we call intercept. So if you look at that again, okay, now his hand now can turn into palm. Okay, so this is more offensive. Now defensive parts are the defense. Hey, come down. Now I didn't stop this step. I just parried it somewhere else. In this case, I dragged it down. Why? Because when he comes down with him, he tries to come to my range. So now he's in my range. Before, I'm in his range. Okay. So again, this is parry. I let it come in, but it went somewhere else. That's Paak Sau. So you have both examples, one defensive, one is offensive. Make sense? Okay. The definition of Paak Sau, any question? Slap or smack? And because we can do a lot with hands, so we'll train that first. Right? So we're going to find out one of the key skills as well as ways that you can use Paak Sau. Okay? So mechanics. Right, so right now, I just want you guys to review the mechanics. I want one partner to start punching. Okay, remember guys, fighting is fighting. Right? Don't say I'm punching you with a certain way. Mix it up. If you know a straight jab, give it to me. If you know a power punch, give it to me. If you know vertical punch, give it to me. Alright? So I want you to be able to catch the hand and check it if you're using the right part of the hand. This is the right part of the hand. Right? Palm base. Right? So if he does like a 1, 2, right? 1, this is all palm base. Right? And then palm heel. Yeah. Now how's that do? Well, technically I hit him twice, right? Because this time I'm using my heel. So I'm hitting him right here and then right here sometimes. So a little bit different from the palm base. So that's all you're doing. I only want to see the palm base and palm heel making contact. Right? Right now, I have not shown you anything else. Can you just do that? But remember, if that's all you're focusing on, that's what you do. Don't do anything outside that. So in other words, don't suddenly throw a kick. Okay? Because this is still learning phase. All right, go ahead and point out.
Okay. Remember that score, okay? Say it again. Okay. Say it again.
When you're going in a certain way and expect that's going to happen, the way that you perceive will happen, in fighting, that's called fixed thinking or fixed pattern. So then you're giving your partner an opportunity to surprise you. So expect and unexpected. So that means we can really, if this is a useful technique, it should not be limited. So in other words, if he punches me, and the only way I can use Paak Sau is outside. What if he suddenly decide to fake this and a real attack come here? Boom, then I should still be able to block this end. You know what I'm saying? So Paak inside or outside. Alright, makes sense? Right? So again, you throw something. This is outside. Right? This one's inside. So when you play both now. So basically what you have to think about it is, if I'm looking at him from this way, he's going to punch, right? I can block this way. Right? Now, for me, if he comes this way, it's like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to block this way. Unless I'm squaring up. So squaring up, the advantage is he punches and pop out, or I can pop in. That's the advantage. So normally you don't pop in the backhand and you turn sideways. Okay? So that's why when you use the system of Wing Chun, it has to be cohesive. So when I see you guys Paak Sau, right now start squaring up, then you're going to be able to either react outside or inside. If I'm only turning sideways, right? It's, even though I can hit him with this one, boom, right? But I cannot make my next move until my body shifts to the turn, which allows him to do the same. Now, if I do square up, did you see me move my body? Well, I can hit him with follow up. That's the difference. Right? So again, the guy come in, attack you the same. But now I want you guys to square up. Square up, pop. He blocked my hand. Now this is not a Paak Sau. That's either a Tong Sau or Wu Sau. So if you do the back of your hand, there's no Paak Sau. Pop. Alright, so right now, expand it. Go inside. Again, this is inside. This is outside. Got it? Right? Get a new partner. Second progression. So again, right now at this moment, it's not really the counter attack, not the offensive strike. Right? Because I don't need to know that, I don't need to hit him to let him know I can hit him. For me to know. Right? And remember, the basic exercise is not what we're doing today. Basic exercise is he stands still, I stand still, he does a vertical punch, I do Paak Sau, right? So why do we stick? Remember, this exercise is not like he punches and pull his hand back, pull his hand back, pull your hand back. Right, that's normally people will do that. So he does that, and we're separated. Right? So this is the push that gives the beginner a chance to learn how to stick. Right? So if he pulls his hand back quick, I don't want to stick to that. You understand that? So the reason, right, if he punches me, pop, I want to stick to that. Doesn't mean I cannot hit him. Of course I can hit him. So it's better that you focus on sticking to the hand and you punch him. Did I stick to him? Yeah. Can you punch me? Yeah, I'm ready to strike him. Right? He might not. See, if you go against people who don't have this experience, they think, oh, I got free hands to punch you. It's just that I didn't hit you the first time. Now you try to hit me, I'm going to let you have it. So right now, the key is stick. Right? Be able to make a connection. Right? Understand? So stick to it. So, all right, and then I square up to him. And for this type of attack, say Paak Sau will not come out. So you're not creating the scenario that what That's why right now straight punch. Right now, is it possible for him to park if I kind of poke near this? This is not possible. So that means he has to go this side. But again, okay, right now you should be going straight. Straight. So some of you guys are kind of doing this number. See, he naturally goes like this. Okay, now we got some basic coordination out of the way. Maybe you never done Paak Sau before, right? But it does. We have many steps before we actually do this. This is more life. Right? So don't worry about it. If you've never done Paak Sau before, you feel like, I got trouble seeing where the hand's coming from and coordination. That's why there are fixed drills before this concept. Right? But this is more focus on applications. So we have covered the definition of Paak, which is slab and slack. Right? And then I covered the tools, which is the palm base or the palm heel. Right? And then recognizing the advantage of squaring up, then you can park either inside or outside. When you turn sideways, you have one side. So you better only have knowing that Paak Sau should be going on the outside. Make sense? Right? All right, so next, we're going to throw in the first major concept of Paak Sau. The concept of Paak Sau means there's overall ideas behind each other. Remember, right, naturally in a fight, you stick your hand out. When we stick my hand out, so if I'm dealing with a competition, say, hey, I don't want to fight. But for Wing Chun, I say I don't want to fight, but my body is already putting up a fighting posture for Wing Chun. But it's deceptive, right? To him, he's listening to me, and this is universal language, meaning what? Stop. But in reality, I am putting up my zone self. And I'm occupying my center, and have awareness where quickly I go to my gates. So this is a way for me to find out what's going on. Right? In a fight, we don't find out what's going on, so what are you going to do to me? Then I'm going to do this to you. We don't have answering questions. Right? In a fight, our way of finding out is by body language, or in this case, contact. So right now, he's too far from me to make contact, so what do? Mind my own business. This is called minding my own business. Occupy my space. Hey, buddy, come down. And suddenly, maybe he decided not to talk anymore. He don't want to come. Hey, buddy, come down. Right? Then my hand set up in the pocket. Make sense? Right? So this means you're finding out what's going on. This is called Meng. Meng means asking. Yip Meng. Yip Meng, Grandmaster Yip, his name is Meng, means, actually his full name is Yip Gai Man. Gai Man means continue to ask. So what do you think his parents were thinking when they gave him that name? They want their son to be very, very inquisitive. Always go find out what's going on. Always go learn. Ask. That's what it is. Continue to ask. That's what his name is. Okay? So I want you guys to kind of like, again, natural. Don't start with a set fighting posture because you give all the information away. You go like this, you give the information away what you're going to do. You go like this, you give the information away. You go like this, you give the information away. So this is our way. Hey, how's it going? Hey, calm down. Understand? So I want you guys, okay, this is the concept of oneself. Now again, it might happen either two ways. Right? If I go like this, if his hands come inside of my hand, then obviously Paak Sau is from the outside. Right? If I go like this and his hands are on the outside, then obviously the Paak Sau is the inside. So I mean that's the only way, right? Either my hands are here, or outside. Or inside. So make the contact, then Paak Sau. Okay, make sense? So again, watch. Okay, contact. Pop. Okay, go. Pop. All right. So this is like I said. Don't. This is meant to protect your space that's going. It could be that I'm approaching him too. Hey, buddy, come down. I can move him. All right. So this is first concept. Asking him. Find out what's going on. All right. Let's do it. All the drill before is to show you to make the contact and then develop hand-to-eye coordination, pushing with the hands. Okay. But in reality, you are dealing with a live opponent. It's not going to telegraph, and then you're going to go super fast, and you're not going to hold it out. So then suddenly to slap that hand is not so easy. Make sense? So what I'm trying to give you guys is throw the net out there. You make contact first, then the pot comes out. So this is throwing the net. Hey, see my net? This is my net. Right? I put my hand out there, and obviously you're going to hit me. Okay? Boom, this is the net. Then after this, the pot comes out. Now this is more of a safe way. Now, to initially pop right away, that means you see it coming. Then it requires certain skill. If I see it coming, right, then pop. But if your hand's not developed, you go against a boxer that's got a real non-telegraphic punch, you might hit an empty air. So that's why right now we want to go to the space that is advantage to us. What space is that? Whichever net you throw out. This is our space right here. This is the net. Right? Hey, buddy, come down. Right. So he's going to come in and attack me. So yeah, I just kind of find out where the contact is. Yeah, right here is the contact. Right, that's it. Right, then the reflex. Hey, buddy, come down. Right. What is that? Yeah. So this is not this is two approach. This is like a spear fishing. I go straight into the palm, straight to the hand. Boom, right there. I can see it, boom, you spear. This is more like throwing the net out there and then sense where the fish is. Then you catch it. It's two different ideas. But again, this is asking what's going on. What's up? Make sense? Let's go. Sorry. I didn't mean to. It's right there, right? So, like I said, Paak is the second step right now. Okay? Now, mind your own business. If he punched me here, saying you put a hand occupied. Doesn't matter what hand, that's why this is not a technique. I didn't say Tong Sao, Wu Sao, or Hong Sao, just whatever you need to recognize the space he's coming in, that's what you need to occupy first. Go again. All right. Awareness of your own space. Right? It is good defense always allow you to do offense. But strong offense always is safe. That means you have a defense to back it up. So right now, you don't have a preconceived notion, I'm going to do Paak Sau. You simply occupy that position and find out what's going to happen. That's called asking. You cannot even occupy your space with two hands, then it's going to be much harder to occupy with one hand. So you need to kind of get this down first. Right? Again, this is not a technique. Right? We don't start fighting like this, guys. Right? Yeah, this is just normal reaction. You put a hand out there, hey buddy, calm down. Could be sometimes here. Or when he comes, you occupy space. Make sense? Alright? But the key is that occupy your space in front of you. Right? Now, of course, right, you need more practice to feel comfortable, feel natural. Right? Now we're moving along. So now we try to do the same idea, which is occupy space, but one hand. Okay? So you pick a hand you want to occupy space. And try different scenarios. So in this case, I'm facing this way, he punched from here. Maybe I go this way. This hand. Okay? So the only other possibility is that this other hand comes. Okay? You do not step cross, right? You always step. Whichever direction you go, that's what you go with, all right? If you see the first example, I'm going right, so my right foot steps. If I see I need to go to left, then my left foot steps. Understand? So right now you stick with the one hand. Now another scenario would be, this is open stance. That was open stance, and I turn my body sideways. Okay? The other scenario is where I square up. Again, square up allows you to have options. Right? This way. Outside. Inside. So again, it's inside, either outside or inside. Okay? The last scenario is cross stance. Right, so before we were this, and now this. So think he's only got two hands, so if he, okay, can I use this hand? No. You have to readjust. So, that means you should be able to throw something out there without readjust. You readjust as you're making a move. If you make a move, readjust, that means that's two moves. So everything in Wing Chun is one. So therefore, unless I see it coming, I will adjust and park from the outside. But I cannot do this, park this way and then try to readjust. Might be too late. Make sense? So, from here, example-wise, right? Yeah, it's inside. Step. Inside step. Now, if you don't step, then you are taking more chances. If you throw me a 1, 2, right? 1 and 2. Right, so you're taking more chances that he is in line of hitting you. Then you gotta play a game of what we call speed. Do it again. Yeah, I can hit him too. But then again, I gotta be quicker. And then you don't want to trade. In this case, he's bigger than me. So that's why if you don't step, you don't have better time. So that's why step that better. Right? Step. So give me better positions, better time. Make sense? Right, so right now just focus on one hand. Again, different scenario. Right, so again, what are we focusing? Covering your space. Alright? If you have no problem, then start working on the second concept, more love. What's that mean? More love.
Accept that they receive it.
Yeah. You come, allow you to come, but I put you at a place that you should, I want you to go. Right? You, my guests come to my house and please have a seat. Most likely that would be our living room. Right? Yeah. Sure, you're welcome to come in, but you're not going to run around and go to my secret room. Right. So if you can handle covering in space one hand, I want to see some kind of redirect. Right? Redirect. So in other words, let it go, and then remember we'll work on the stick again, huh? So maybe that hand, right? Right. So same, I let it go, right? And then stick. Okay. Right? Try it. Right? Worry about yourself before you worry about someone else. Do you agree? Right? So I'm not really thinking about hitting him. I want to make sure my space is covered. So what we have done is simply, this simple exercise. Hey buddy, calm down. He's going to have to come in if he want to hit me, so I will occupy. From there, asking hand comes in. So I find out what's going on. If something's there, I park and waste that way. Right? So, that, again, you have to practice from all scenarios. Could be here, or could be here, or could be there. But then you take on the Paak Sau, right? All right, so then we're moving to now working with one hand. Any questions so far? Does that make sense? So one hand, okay, you are one-sided, then you want to get to two-sided, back to two-hand. If you're already facing, which is square up, then allow you to be more efficient. Because if I square up to him, I don't need to move, readjust. If I do readjust, it's because I readjust to get something even better. It's like, right, you have a nice house. If you move out of the house, hopefully you move what? Down or up? Better house. Not necessarily a bigger house, but a better house. Right? Unless you have one of those mortgage, you move out, you go back to no house. Same thing. If I move to a better place. Right? So same thing inside of it too. Okay? Yeah. Inside, I don't need to move so much. Okay, now if I do move, it's because I say I want to get to an even better position. Right? I can hit him right here without moving, but if I do move, right? So this is better position. Understand? Right, so you start understanding why, this is not a style that allows us to be more efficient, use two hands simultaneously. But if I don't have the facing, which might happen, somebody for a sucker punch, I cannot just park here. Because in this scenario, isn't me and Chung the same? I got a free hand, he got a free hand, but we both have to readjust and turn. So it's not a good fight. I want to be a superior. So that's why sideways, you do need to readjust. Then you need to step. So once I step, what happens? I'm back to my square up position. Yeah? So here, you throw me a punch. I don't want to be here, because now actually this is actually for me. Because next move is only defensive. So you say, well, I think I can do this. But again, you have to have defense. So that's why if we don't have square up, I have to step. And now again, both hands become offensive. Okay? So you gotta look at it. Yeah, so what if you have a gun? But every time you go out there, you're always defensive. Eventually, it's a matter of time before you get killed. Right? Or you get better. Right now, I get to counterattack now. Right? The Taliban, once in a while, they get to counterattack. That's like a big deal. But we always put them defensive. Right? Right? And that's really the reality of fighting. So it's not what technique you use, and now you get into the concept of understanding. Okay? So all of these teach you about facing. So if you're not moving, we normally call this the 4 gates concept. But once you trigger the movement, the footwork, then it becomes 6 gates. Okay, so so we have understanding of occupy your own space. Okay, one hand and two hands. Now you take one further step, is make sure you end up having a superior position. That means you should be having your 6 gate facing him where he is not facing you. Does that make sense? Okay? Yeah, otherwise you're going to lose that Wen Chen structure. So then you're going to be going out to the you're going to lose the simultaneous defense and offense opportunity. Okay, so now we kind of put all this together. So if you do step to better position, just remember that. Right? So initially squaring up, most people on training, they feel very uncomfortable. They think this is exposed. Oh, he hit me a lot of spot, and then they turn their body sideways. But this is an illusion because in a real fight you can kick the back and front and inside. So you actually give your target 3 places: the side, the front, and the back. Here is what we do now. Human being, when you engage something, you square up. You're watching TV, you play piano, you do a slow dance, you square up. Try to do try to communicate. You're interested in this girl, and every time you do something to her, it's always like this. Right? So right now, you put all the pieces together. I don't care if you do one hand or 2 hands, or raise like you make a move. Hey, buddy, but I want to get to the point where I end up facing him. He's not facing me. Right? And so right now, I'm not facing him. So therefore, do I step or don't step? Step. Right? So step, facing me again. Right? So he's not facing me. Now, eventually, he will get smart by facing me, but then again, he's in my line of fire already. Does that make sense? Yes. Right? So the tool is Paak Sau, but tell you what makes your Paak Sau good is the theory behind it. Yeah, anybody can slap. Okay. Now, one more little thing. This is more of a parry, and then control him. I let the hand comes, right? Come to the side or down. This is redirect, right? But then our offensive Paak Sau, we call Loi Lao is, if you come, line will come, but you put in the position that you want to be. The next one, the Hui Song, is escort them out once they leave. Or in other words, send them off. So this, if I do offensive Paak Sau, you should be able to send him off. Even the first move. See, if I do an attack and then he does, let's say a regular person with no reach, understanding of concept, you pop my hand, you affect my center. That's why I'm still dangerous. If he comes, actually he gets fly away. Right? So I know when I put a hand out there, I'm asking, who are you? And you just smack my hand away without influence my center, I know I can knock you down. So if I punch Shango and he take my facing away, same time he pop. Yeah. Or make my structure lose balance or destroy my facing. That's what we call a hook swing. You send him off. You jam. Make sense?
Yes.
Right. So as you can see, once you are practicing the advanced version of the Wing Chun, it's all based on concepts, not the technique. Then, today is a short workshop, but this is more geared on application. If you've never done this before, it seems like it might be too much of the stuff. That's why you go back to the stationary stuff first. Right, so after this workshop, can you tell me why we do this first? Because what? Are we learning how to face? Are we learning how to occupy your space with one hand at a time? But in reality, it's move 2 hands. 1 hand at a time, 2 hands. Right? And then learn how to stick. Right? Yeah, and feel comfortable squaring up. I tell you, under any circumstance, if you don't feel comfortable, that means you're not ready yet. So the idea for us as a fighter or as a Wing Chun guy, as a martial artist, you want to feel comfortable with fighting. Don't feel happy though. And something like that. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah, you should be at least, hey, I've been here before, I've done this many times, it's like just another move, just another thing. Right? Yeah. So think about all this. Now I want you guys concentrate on the end goal, which is, of course, using the Paak to find out what's going on, engage him, and then end up in the superior position. Okay, so this is, make sure you understand the end results. Okay, so we are applying the gate theories. This is Paak Sau with no gate theory. This is just, technique. Because I'm doing a long distance fighting, right? Boom, boom, I'm doing long distance fighting. But again, this is more of a speed and, who's quicker, who can move faster, and this and that. There's no gate theory, but there's Paak Sau right there. I mean, every system, right? Yeah, this is all Paak Sau. You Paak, but there's no gate theory there. So you're doing technical Paak Sau, but it's not really Wing Chun. Right? When you bring Wing Chun theory there, it's not that we like it. No. What does that mean? Allow you to be more efficient. So without the gate theory, with the gate theory, right, my follow-up move would be very efficient. That looked like I'm not doing much, but this, this type of thing, this type of thing is, you're gonna get tired and you're gonna kind of force yourself in a position where you gotta be fast to make it work. Okay? Sure, you should have that ability. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do one more drill, and then we're going to have time to do one more thing is Paak Sau against grab. Okay. Guys, somebody give me some feedback, questions, comments. Okay, definition of Paak Sau.
Slap.
Slap or smash. Okay? Without a clap. Smack, smash. Okay? Slap. Little translation. The mechanics is palm base or palm heel. We call that bone palm heel. Right here. That should be the contact. Okay? And the first important concept, Paak Sau, is Meng Sau, asking him. You put a hand, right? Like, hey, buddy, come down, hey, buddy, this is normal. Right? You put a hand on people. But for us, it's what? It's feeling, it's information. Because as soon as I put my hand, you make a move, please. Yeah. I sense it already. Okay? So Meng Sau comes in many forms. Meng Sau is what? Find out what's out there. Either you make contact already or you're waiting for that contact. Make sense? And because, sure, eventually your whole body will be sensitive. When you do grappling and Chi Sau and all that kind of stuff, it makes your body aware. But hands are more sensitive. Do you agree? So I get more out of it. We have a saying, if you go out there, you bring something back. Then we talk about the energy, Loi Lao Hui Song. If a come, allow him to come, but period. Okay? Now, there's one thing to be careful if you from his punch. If I do parry him down, I'm not bringing him in. I'm keeping him down, but maintain that distance. This is the understanding of the lower kick. So this is where, but by allowing him to come and go down, just put him into a distance where I can hit him. Don't pull, not this way. Don't pull him in. Grappler love that. Understand? So we're talking about Loi Lao Hui Song. Okay, what's an example of Hui Song? Send him off. So if something comes, right? Right? Send them off. Okay? And then we put the last piece together. There's more concepts, but then it's facing. So now everyone should be facing me this way. You're engaging. You're interested in this topic. This is how we normally do things as a human being. So why we should be different in the fight? Do you agree? Of course, you have to be trained. All right. So last piece. This is more for applications. Paak Sau is effective against most of what we call grabbing move. Grabbing move, that means it doesn't matter what system of grabbing. For their techniques to work, they must make a contact first. So in other words, they must have bridge first. Okay? If you're a striker or a kicker, when you make contact, your technique's done. But for grappling, when they make contact, it's just the beginning. So if you can chop that off or stop them from going any further, then they don't really finish their move on you. You agree?
Yes.
Right? So majority of initial bridging of grapplers can be effective by using Paak Sau. I say majority. There's not 100% in right? Even in theory, there's 100% true, but can you make it happen because it's human factor? Make sense? All right. So if somebody grab my hand, hey buddy, you just gotta, all right, smack it over, all right, smack it over, all right. This is just Paak Sau. All right. All right. So for any type of bridging, crossing, or survey, you should quickly use Paak Sau to get that bridge off. Now in this case, I could be throwing a punch. There's Paak Sau. He gave me the bridge. He's going to grab his pot thing. Or in this case, I'm pointing finger, maybe he grabbed me or something, right? Okay. So you want to be quickly using the Paak Sau to get that bridge off. So right now, okay, just relax and free. So somebody just grabs you, okay? You just take the hand off. So right now we allow him to grab. Now he try to grab me, right? I wouldn't allow him to grab in the first place. Now go ahead and let him grab. Then you use the pop. Okay? Start working on the normal grabs. Then if you have grabbing experience, when people start getting into a more of a clinch, right? If we were doing typical wrestling, yeah, this is you're fighting for a position here. So this is ready. I'm ready for grappling. But right now we have one grappler. So what are you going to do if he does that to me? But I want to just do that. Don't. He grabbed me. Oh, I want to grab him back. Then okay. Then you're changing the game. So right now is he wants to bridge. I don't give him bridge. Right? Here is common, here is common, here is common, here is common. So, well, just use a smack that way. Maybe you try to clinch. Right. That's all. Very simple. So initially, it's what? Don't give them the bridge. So a guy just put a hand on you and then you pop. Right. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? All right, let's go. Okay? Yeah, just like a corner. Okay? So go from touch to grab and then to clinch. But you need to know out of all different positions, you can still block out there. So far, this is a concept related to Paak Sau, mechanics related to Paak Sau, and the Paak Sau technique itself. Okay? And also, there's more to it. For example, if we talk about, this is still technical, the stadium top stuff, stadium top level, because the theory comes from the stadium top step. Now, when you go to the second level, second stage, like Tom Kim, meaning to seek the bridge or to sink the bridge. There's a bridging concept for that. Then it gives you a new meaning. Right? So can we still use Paak Sau when you further into the system? Of course, but you have more deeper information, give you more higher skills. Okay? Some QQ means bridge. So if you think about it, for grapplers to work, they have to make that bridge first. Do you agree? So now if I'm going against grappler, I don't think about technique. You know, oh yeah, my Paak Sau is gonna destroy this jiu-jitsu guy, or my punch, or my kick. No, this is the wrong thing, wrong way to think. You think about a technique can destroy. That's just a tool. In the fight is how you use the tool that matters, not the tool itself. You put a gun right there, the gun's not going to go after you unless somebody is behind it. Right? So that's why in application you must get the theory right, which is the concept I'm giving you guys. So for grabbing, you know they have to make the bridge first. So if you're at the top level in our Wing Chun system, you should be able to do two things. One is to connect the bridge. Like if I'm going against a grappler or a long distance kicker or striker, meaning that I should be able to what? To make a bridge at our space, not at their space. Okay? Or other way around is take away their bridge. This is concept, bridging concept. Initial contact. So I know if somebody want to grab, yeah, I just don't give him a bridge. You know, it might not has to do with the Paak Sau. Yeah, make a move. Okay? Yeah, I just don't give him the bridge. Make sense? But you can do two ways. He grabs me. Oh, you know, I try to get a better position by grabbing. This is grabbing versus grabbing. But there's still a superior position on that. But remember, the key here, if we're talking about today's topic, which is Paak Sau, is don't even do this. So now I'm grabbing you back. So then you change the game now. Okay, so at this moment, the skill is simply don't give him that bridge. Alright, so anti-grab begin with what? Destroying their bridges. So this becomes a powerful thinking. Yeah, most of you guys learn our technique from me, but sometimes it's like you guys always struggle because you try to make this technique work without knowing the when and how those are called concepts. Sure, I don't know what I'm going to do, but he's going to grab me on this sweat. Don't give him the bridge. Okay? So in thinking, can you think about 1,000 moves or focus on that simple concept? Then your body will react to that goal in your head, which is the idea. Anti-grab, which is anti-bridging. That should be your easy to focus at that moment. Then your body will react to it. But then you think about, okay, now release technique, I do this, and he shoot on my leg. Oh, okay, now I gotta go to my anti-takedown, and I do this dance and do that move. This is technique thinking, huh? Yeah, if you don't have all the technique, this doesn't work. And then you shut your body off because you didn't learn that second move, and it so happened that that was the move that you need, then you stop, you freeze. But now if you have a thinking, your body will fight your way out. Make sense? Again, this is it's concept-based system. That is why you need to do it. Okay? So last round, we're just going to have fun. You're just going to grab your opponents. I don't want you to think about Paak Sau or any technique. I just want you to show me anti-bridge, but try to use more what we work on today, which is Paak. Right? Go. Last round.
This is something else we work on practice.
understanding about the nature of how to apply Paak Sau in live situations. Okay? Drill is about initial understanding and skill. But if you already got the skill, then doesn't mean you can fight. You still have to develop fighting skill. That can only happen in more of a live type of training. That means not so much restrictions. Right, so everything we give you is concept. Those concepts allow you to continue to change and adapt in an unrestricted mode. If you focus on technique, if you got 10 techniques, that means you are bound by those 10 techniques. That is true for the whole system. If you study one style, that means you are narrow and bound by that one style. So that's why Wen Chun is not a style. Make sense? Okay. All right, I want to say thank you for you guys, and also for the Wen Chun University members and students. Okay, this is a typical Saturday workshop. Okay, it's reinforcing some of the concept that we teach in regular classes, and then but normally in workshop we focus on one focused topic. So hopefully also you guys have a chance to enjoy that.